friends, what's up? My name's Nicole Michelle and you're watching Nicole in a Nutshell. So today we're going to talk all about dialogue tags. So what is a dialogue tag? Well, let me tell you. It's basically the tag that goes on the end of a piece of dialogue, which identifies the person that's speaking. So it's the he said, she said part of the dialogue. And it basically goes like this. What do you mean you're leaving me?
I just can't.
Come back! Now you might be wondering why my dialogue tag didn't look more like this. She asked, concerned. And my answer is simply this. First, the adjective at the end is just a fluff word. Show us that the character is concerned. Don't tell us that the character is concerned, even if that means adding in another sentence or two. That's okay to do. But if you do decide to go that route, make sure it's appropriate for the pacing, because if you have a very fast dialogue going back and forth, you don't want to bog it down with unnecessary details. Second, I would argue that you don't really need that adjective at the end because you can already tell through what she's saying that she's concerned. You may have also noticed that I didn't use dialogue tags at the end of every piece of dialogue because it's not necessary. The point of a dialogue tag is to establish who is speaking, and once you've established that, the reader can go off of the structure you've provided. Except maybe if you have a very long page of dialogue, you might want to throw one in towards the end so they remember which character it is that's saying what. Or if another character isn't introduced, then you obviously use a dialogue tag for them so everything does not get muddled and crazy. Just want some clarity, and that's all. So some people might disagree with the adjective use with dialogue tags, and that's okay because everybody's writing style is different. However, I would caution you that sometimes those kind of dialogue tags can be distracting to the reader and pull them out of what they're reading. If you just keep it simple, it's usually a much more effective way of writing, I find. Most of the time, dialogue tags are skipped over anyway. All the reader wants to see is the name of who's speaking, and then they just move right on. They just want to see the dialogue and the name. And they don't even usually listen or acknowledge if they're saying or stating or shouting or crying, you know, or whatever the dialogue tag is. So a lot of times it's just best to stick with the generic he said, she said, and just to keep it simple. Because like I said, it's a matter of the reader just skipping over it. They just want to see who's speaking, and they don't really care about how they're speaking it, i.e., he said softly. They probably won't even get to the softly part. They're just going to see who was saying it, and that's it. If you took out the softly and instead said she whispered, that would be more effective and much more concise in writing. Ultimately, it makes your dialogue less cluttered and essentially serves the same purpose. Anyway, I hope that was super helpful. If it was, give it a big thumbs up, and leave your comments down below if you have any more questions or any suggestions on how I can make a better video or whatever. It's all good. We're all friends here. So thank you so much for watching. Until next time, right on.